So it was brought to my attention that the audio last time and the time before were kind of like messed up, so boom. I think it's fixed now. I want to really get good at these talking vlogs because they're really fun to make and they only take a couple hours to edit. Well, sometimes. But that's not the point. The point is I want to get good at these, so I'm going to be like experimenting for the first few. I really don't like the shadow that I'm getting from this side. Hold on, wait. I don't know how to turn this lamp on. It's a little bit better. Hold on, I'm going to get this. It's going to have to work. I'm in my dorm room right now. So I'm just gonna have to go with what I've got. This is what you got. So, experiment that I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna try telling a story and just see how that goes. We'll just have to play it by ear. I hope that it's good. I'm gonna try to make it good. We'll just have to see. So let me build the setting. So at the point in my life when this story happened, I was living in Alabama, the deep south. It was my favorite house that we ever lived in. It was all brick, so nice, just like a hall with branching rooms off, and it was just so simple. But we lived in a little neighborhood, like little tiny neighborhood. We probably had like 14 houses there. So like everybody knew everybody, and if we had to get together, it was like everybody was there. And if you weren't there, you were kind of like, oh man, I wish that old man Jenkins was here. He's the only one that's not. So rather tight-knit. That doesn't really pertain to the story much. That just gives you an idea of where I was. I want to say that I was 6 or 7 years old. I was old enough that my parents let me go outside by myself, but I was the adventurous type. This was like before I had a cell phone. That was before the era when 7-year-olds had cell phones. These days, it's like, what, you got the iPhone 5? Yeah, I'm 7. My parents bought me the 6. I've actually had that conversation before. So, I was 7. We used to babysit these dogs all the time. I don't even remember what relationship or what relation to the family these people that we kept the dogs were. I want to say they were our aunt and uncle, maybe? But there were these 2 little Yorkies. They were probably yay big. Yay big. And instead of having like a collar with a leash, they had one of those harnesses with a leash. So, being the super adventurous kind of person I was like, oh, I bet that I can hook myself into this. We're gonna call that close enough. Maybe that helps, maybe that made your mental image completely distorted. I don't know. So anyway, I put the harness on, strapped it in. It kind of just covered like my lower region. Then I went into we had a little shed that was connected to the house, but separate. It wasn't actually attached by the room, it was like attached by a roof. When I walked over to the shed, we had a bunch of rope, like spare rope. So I got some of that spare rope and I went outside and I found a tree. That's where everything went wrong. I was a pretty innovative small 7-year-old, so I took that rope and I tied something to it. I want to say a basketball or a football. I think it was a football. And I launched it over a limb that was probably, I don't know, 20 feet, 30 feet up in the air. Launched it so that it draped over. You're getting this mental image? I threw it and it draped over like this and I let it like slowly go down and then I like pulled really tight. And I'm no dummy, so I tested the strength of it pretty good. I was like at the ground kind of like feeling my weight on it. Oh, well first I strapped it to my sweet little harness. Felt my weight out and as soon as I felt confident that it was enough to hold my weight, I started like scaling it, like full weight back, scaling it up. I got up probably 15 to 20 feet. I felt pretty sweet, personally. But then, that's when it happened. I feel like at this point you could probably guess what happened. The rope that I had ever so, tediously figured out that it could hold my weight snapped and I just fell. And I fell just flat on my back, So I was just kind of helpless on the ground without being able to make any noise, but just kind of breathing. And I think that we've all had the wind knocked out of us, so I couldn't call anybody because I was just fresh out of air. The best part about this is I don't remember it ever hurting. So I fell from 15 to 20 feet and it didn't hurt, but it scared the crap out of me. And then I went inside and probably had a smoothie or fresh fruit, other summer things. That's all I got. You can check out last week's video right there. If you're liking this series, go ahead and show some love in the comments or give me a like, follow me on Twitter, whatever, do everything. These are fun to make. Maybe I can start doing them more often. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I hope that y'all have a fantastic day. Okay, peace out.